Live, local, late breaking. This is Newswatch 12 this morning.
Good morning. The time is 6:30 on August 26. Welcome to Newswatch 12 this morning. I'm Carlos Murrieta. Before we check in with Storm Tracker 12 meteorologist Sarah Kress, we are tracking the Dillon fire this morning as multiple evacuation warnings are in place, along with one evacuation order. The Dillon fire erupted yesterday evening in Siskiyou County, sending up a massive plume of smoke to the sky that you could see on your screen. CAL FIRE says the fire has already burned more than 920 acres and is 0% contained. Now we're going to turn over to Storm Tracker 12 meteorologist Sarah Kress for a closer look at those evacuations. And Sarah, how are we looking this morning?
Well, this morning we haven't seen any changes from last night, still having one evacuation order in place, which is SIS 1506, and also we have 5 evacuation warnings. And just a reminder that an evacuation order means go now. You are in immediate danger. You need to leave immediately. Now, evacuation warnings mean be set, ready to leave at a moment's notice in case things do get out of plan or out of hand. Now, also we do have a red flag warning in place for most of the region again today, because we are expecting more scattered thunderstorms with abundant lightning expected. So we'll have more details for that coming up in your next forecast.
And continuing on the fire watch, a lightning-caused fire prompted a level 1 be ready evacuation that's still in place in the Klamath National Forest. The Klamath National Forest reported 13 lightning fires, the largest being the McDonald fire, burning southwest of Siskiyou Peak near Ashland. Crews stopped its forward progress just after 8 last night, and an aerial recon flight is planned today to check out for some new smoke. And the Immigrant fire has grown to an estimated 3,500 acres, burning about 3 miles southwest of Indigo Springs Campground on the Middle Fork Ranger District. Crews are working aggressively on full suppression despite the tough weather and terrain. The Immigrant fire is producing a large amount of smoke in the Willamette National Forest. And the Emergency Conflagration Act was invoked for the Flat Fire in Central Oregon, calling in resources from across the state. Both local and national resources are aiding in the nearly 22,000-acre fire. Now, this includes crews from Grants Pass Fire, Klamath County, and Medford Fire, who are focusing on structural protection and safeguarding homes. As the fire threatens infrastructure, homes, and environmental resources, FEMA has now authorized funds for the firefighting effort. 4 homes have been destroyed in the fire, and for more details on these fires, you can head on over to our website. And as we approach the 5-year anniversary of the 2020 Labor Day fires, Access is continuing to offer support for fire survivors. Both renters and homeowners who lost their homes in the Alameda or Oban chain fires may qualify for support programs. Now, these programs could help in purchasing a new home, provide reimbursement for repair costs, as well as rental assistance. More details on these programs can be found through Access.
Now, your first forecast with meteorologist Sarah Kress.
Live look out across the region this morning, and you may notice a few things. If you're over along the coast, we're dealing with marine clouds and areas of fog. Should see improvements throughout your morning. If your area is inland, especially into your west side valleys, we are dealing with hazy skies, some impacts to air quality, even seeing some hazy sky conditions areas over east side this morning. Taking a closer look at your air quality, we're seeing unhealthy for sensitive groups, mainly areas over west, but moderate areas over the east side into Northern California. Due to the Immigrant fire and the Dillon fire, we'll likely see impacts to air quality throughout the day, and also seeing haze and smoke across the region. But for today, we're expecting another very hot day into our west side valleys. Temperatures pushing very close to triple digits. Some areas just making over that threshold as well. We are going to be seeing widespread scattered thunderstorms, but also depending on how that smoke does act, we could see that stifle some of the development. But in general, if we do see those storms, we're expecting abundant lightning, and new fire starts are going to be likely today. So we do have a red flag in red flag warning in place for most of the region. Again, these storms will be capable of abundant lightning, some small hail, gusty winds, and even some heavy downpours into some areas. Now for today into the Rogue Valley, we will see most of the day on the drier side. Again, watch out for impacts to air quality throughout your day. We'll be seeing hazy sky conditions. High temperatures make their way up into the upper 90s. Could see triple digits into a few areas, including Grants Pass. Along the coast, temperatures will be into the 60s. We'll see 80s areas over east side, 90s and 80s into Northern California. And in the days to come, still is going to be remaining hot. We have another day of tracking out some thunderstorms as well into your Wednesday, but it does look to be drier for us on our Thursday. So I'll have more details for you on that coming up in your next forecast.
Onto a traffic alert. One northbound lane of the I-5 will be closed tonight, potentially creating delays. Between the two Medford exits, crews will be repairing pavement on the Medford Viaduct. Now, this project is expected to wrap up before 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. ODOT asked drivers to use caution and watch for workers on the roadway. Now continuing coverage, Danny Schofield's pretrial conference continued yesterday, and her trial is now scheduled for September of 2026. This comes after the former Asante nurse made her first court appearance in a year in May. A closer look at Schofield's case can be found on KDRV.com. And a coalition of Oregonians testified in support of Governor Tina Kotek's transportation proposals at a public hearing. The Legislative Concept 2 proposal aims to modernize tax methods and increase funding for Oregon transportation. It will raise necessary funds for ODOT and bring oversight into the spending budget while also simplifying mile rates for trucking companies. The coalition included trucking businesses and ODOT employees and local community leaders. The proposal will be addressed during a special session in September. And Governor Kotek signed a bipartisan slate of energy bills that she says will lower costs for Oregonians and hold big energy users accountable. The ceremonial signing took place at a new affordable housing complex built with energy-efficient design. The new laws will limit utility rate hikes, expand bill assistance for low-income households, and require large users like data centers to pay their fair share.
This is about affordability. This is about making sure that people can afford to live in our state and can afford to pay for the electricity that we all know is an important part of just getting by and living your life here in Oregon.
Kotek was joined by state lawmakers, including Ashland Representative Pam Marsh, along with advocates and Oregon's kid governor, to celebrate what they called a win for fairness, stability, and affordability in the state's energy system. And some schools throughout Oregon celebrated their first day, and with parents and families back on the road, Newswatch 12's Grace Ritz tells us about the importance of following school safety laws.
School bells are ringing, and that means kids are commuting to school by bus, car, and on foot. It's more important than ever for drivers to stay alert and follow school safety laws. To make sure everyone stays safe this year, law enforcement is already enhancing their patrol approach.
Yeah, probably don't need to tell the public today is it's Monday, back to school, first day of the school year. The Josephine County Sheriff's Office has enhanced our focus on our school zones in and around the schools, not just the zones. There are not going to be warnings in our school zones and around our schools.
Drivers should pay close attention to posted speed limits, especially in school zones, where the speed limit is 20 miles per hour during school hours. Fines are also higher in these zones. It's also important for those to push the button when they're crossing the street. That way it lets kiddos cross the street safely and make sure cars stop and let them cross. Many kids will be riding the bus, so it's crucial for drivers to know and follow school bus safety laws. When a school bus has flashing yellow or red lights and the stop arm is extended, all drivers must stop from both directions and do not pass until the lights stop flashing and the stop sign is retracted. Reporting in Medford, I'm Grace Ritz.
New this morning, the Dolly Parton Imagination Library has been making a big impact in Jackson County, as almost 4,500 kids are currently enrolled, getting a free high-quality book each month. This program has already seen 1,806 kids graduate, with much help of the coming from donors and community partners. The community effort aims to celebrate every child's graduation and build brighter futures one book at a time. And a local woman is being recognized on the national stage. Grants Pass resident Alice Deal placed third at the 2026 Miss Wheelchair competition on Saturday. Deal was crowned in 2025 as Miss Wheelchair Oregon and says the pageant is more about advocacy. The former Hollywood actor uses her platform Wheels of Change to push for safe spaces for people with disabilities and the unhoused population in rural southern Oregon.
Platform Wheels of Change focuses on creating hope and safe spaces for our most vulnerable communities. Sometimes you have to literally be the bedazzled safe space you were always meant to be. As your next Miss Wheelchair America, I promise to be a safe space for everyone, especially us. We deserve it.
It says in her hometown, homelessness is often criminalized and people with disabilities face even greater challenges accessing services. Deal works with groups like Disability Rights Oregon and Mint to bring attention to these issues. And Newswatch 12's Wake and Win is back this week. Have the chance to win 4 tickets to the Seven Feathers Fall Classic Rodeo on September 21st and 22nd. All you have to do is watch Newswatch 12 this morning between 6:45 and 7 a.m. Coming up in about 15 minutes. Spot that daily code word and enter it on our website for a chance to win. One winner will be selected each day through Friday.